like stopping and starting, you can do that. If you have expansion joints, does everyone know what the expansion joints are? It's like the cross in the middle of the garage, it's technically 4 mini slabs is what you have. So when you have expansion joints, I'm going to treat them as 4 mini garages. So I'm going to pour a bead here and spread it out. I'm not going to spread all the way in. I don't want to fill those expansion joints. Real quick science lesson. Expansion joints are there for a reason. The earth moves. Shocker. If you didn't know that, surprise. So those expansion joints are there for a reason. So if any 64th of an inch moves, those slabs are putting thousands of pounds of pressure against each other, and they're prone to crack. Expansion joints are there so that when the slab moves, it'll crack in the expansion joints and not through the whole slab. What do you think will happen if I completely fill, caulk, and put in my expansion joints? What do you think is going to happen? I'm encouraging the floor to crack through my coating. Now, saw cut joints where people aren't expansion, totally fine. You can fill those. Those aren't there for a reason. But the beveled edge expansion joints are there for a reason. I would always recommend that you don't fill them. Unless you're doing metallic. Metallic flows out. It's already going to flow in there anyways. Might as well fill them. But again, inform the customer, hey, just so you know, there's a chance that this could happen and I'm not liable for it. Put it in your contract. So, then we're going to roll. And then we will get our flake. And we will broadcast our flake to refusal. So, if it's a 2-man crew, let's say, let's say I was the one who was mixing. I hand it over to the spread, or I pour it out, then the spreader's going to go. He's going to spread. Let's say we're only using 1 case. When he's done, I'm going to grab my spike shoes and roller, and I'll be the one rolling. When he's done spreading, he'll grab the flake and start throwing the flake in the stuff that I already rolled. So again, you never want to be sitting still. You always want to be doing something. Three-man crew is a little much for a 2-car garage, but a bigger garage, just more room. You can have multiple people rolling. Someone can always be doing something. If you're sitting around while there's wet epoxy on the ground, it's not cured yet, you're doing it wrong. There's always something to clean, always something to get ready, always something to prepare. So, I always keep a bucket of acetone with me on my job site. The reason for this is twofold. One, anytime I mention, remember when it's a little bit cold and your epoxy is a little thick, you can always add a little bit of acetone to our products, especially our epoxy, and it will thin it out, and acetone evaporates so fast that it's not a big deal. It's not going to ruin my coating, it's not going to change anything to it, it's going to evaporate out so fast. The other reason I keep a bucket is because acetone is a great thing to use for your tools. When I am cleaning my tools, I want to use acetone. I don't want to use xylene, I don't want to use denatured alcohol. Does anyone know why?
Oil residual.
What did you say?
Oil residual in the material.
Correct. Especially xylene leaves this film on my tools in my epoxy. So I only want to use acetone because it flashes off so fast. So if you want to not make any money on the job site, don't clean your tools. It's as simple as that. You want to make no money, no profit, don't clean your tools. Buy new ones every time. But if you're smart, you clean your tools before the epoxy cures on them. Now, you'll notice, like a frame like this that I've had for a couple of years in music classes, it's not the end of the world if there's stuff stuck on it. It's not going to affect it. But if I don't clean my mixer, I'm just going to get a buildup of epoxy. And all of a sudden these paddles are turning rounded, and now I just have a block, right? So I really want to clean my tools as much as I can. Every time I drill mixed epoxy, I spin my drill right in the acetone. Obviously, be careful when you are using a drill and acetone. Don't get acetone in your drill. It will catch fire. It'll spark something up. And the guy who used to teach training classes before me, Greg, he was teaching a training class. He was down on the floor like this. He had spilled acetone and kind of didn't notice he spilled acetone in, I'm telling you, almost a circle around him. Started mixing something. The drill sparked. He caught fire, a circle of fire around him like this high. And he's in the middle of it. And we got it all on security camera. And it was amazing to see. So don't be like Greg. He singed off his eyebrows and everything like that. So just be careful. Shouldn't have to say it, but things happen. If you happen to get acetone in your drill, don't risk it.
I got one more quick question before
Yeah.
you go any further. When you said you did the layout as far as the material
Mhm.
and then you're rolling,
Mhm.
what kind of millage are you looking at in the first coat?
Yeah, so 200 square feet a gallon at 100, so 100 square foot, 200 square feet a gallon would be about 8 mils, 8 wet mils, and it's 100% solid, so it's gonna be 8 dry mils as well. But then when you add the flake, it's 1/4 inch flake and it kind of sticks up. Your whole system's ending up around, no, I think it's closer to like 30 mils. Because, I mean, it's pretty high with the flakes stacking on top of each other, it's sticking up a little bit. But other than that,
We got one question here.
I'll let you in. Hold on. Hold on. Good? No, you're fine.
Are there humidity limits?
Yeah, so you have certain products that are moisture cured and certain products that are moisture cured. So our polished product top coat is moisture cured, so humidity is going to affect it a lot more. Humidity is not really going to affect this as much. The only thing is that humidity is usually attached with a certain temperature, right? So, like down in Laguna Beach, if you're doing a beach house, you know, and like the garage is open, it's facing the sun, and you have all this moisture, things are going to cure a little bit faster, but it's not as big of a deal when we're talking about epoxy. When we're talking about our polyspartics, it's a big deal. Your temperature, like hot temperature to epoxy, is what high humidity is to polyspartic.
Our
So,
current product is humidity limits on the paint and the polyester.
interesting.
And that's a cyclical product too.
Interesting. So, if you guys ever need any like information, something like that, that's specific. We have data sheets and safety data, product data sheets and safety data sheets on all of our products. They're on our website. So that has a jumble of tables and information and things that we probably can't even read and know what it is, but it will have a bunch of tests like, it'll have your times reference, all of your working times, cure times, mixing amount, the solids content. The one thing I'll say is, by law, all of our data sheets have to be set at 72 degrees. That's the test of it. So our lab is temperature controlled at 72 degrees. So all of those times, like when I say, for 6150, I say it takes an hour and a half to 2 hours to dry, because somewhere in there is 72 degrees, but it's never really that. So just so you know, if the data sheet says 2 hours, that's at 72 degrees, so if it's 100 degrees, it'll probably be a little bit faster, or if it's colder, it's going to be a little bit slower. But I'll check on that, because I don't know off the top of my head. That's not really something that we deal with here a lot, so I'll check on that for you. So, any other questions before we mix this up? Sweet. Okay, so, we're going to mix up the kit of this, and if we need to, we'll mix up another kit. One rule of thumb that I like to do, I don't love actually mixing on my job site, because if I accidentally spill like A unmixed or B unmixed, then like I can't leave it on the floor, because then it won't cure. So it's just a good rule of thumb. When I get to a job site, what I'll do is take some butcher paper, and I'll tape it to like the edge of the garage, and then like kind of tape it down, and that's where I'll put like my tools and all that stuff, and I'll have my trash can. You don't ever want to get stuff on the customer's driveway, you know, it'll stain, things like that. So, tools. We have our smoother. We want to make sure everything is laid out, ready to go. All over things are good. We have, is there a roller train in there?
Snares bowl.
No, it's just
It might be in that trash can. Okay. I'll grab another one. Will you put a roller on this? There might have been at some point. Let me grab one more. If you guys, if you do me a favor, so this flake right here, some people like broadcasting flake out of the box. I think it's a little tacky, so I like to use buckets. So just fill up these buckets with those 2 boxes. It's a lot easier to hold a bucket and broadcast from the box. And again, I use smaller buckets. These are like 3.5 gallons. 5-gallon buckets full of flake are heavy, especially if you're on bike shoes walking around with a full box. It's a little hard. Let me grab one more roll.
6 ago.
see.
I don't know if there's a way to put them on and off. I thought one of those, and I hate that freaking thing. I don't use it. Yes.
This is the best roller frame I've
Maybe I don't know how to.
Okay.
use it.
So,
I hate it.
I'll tell you why. One, this stuff is indestructible. You could soak it in acetone and it won't dissolve. Like some of those other plastic ones won't. Also, these legs are replaceable. You can buy these legs for like $100.
Yeah, I got 2 brand new sets, but I'll probably never use it. I don't know.
Send
To
them.
me, taking the rollers off, I'm full of hate.
So, but that's what's nice about it is like I can clip it on. So,
I must not know how to use it.
I got one right here.
I'll show you. Oh. So, you just put one end in. And then you have the other end not clipped in.
Okay, and then taking it out.
And you just pinch it.
Yeah.
And you just pull it out.
Alright, it's so full of shit. A couple times I've used it. But I don't have the acetone, acetone. I do use xylene, which, okay, I think that's gonna be.
It does. And I mean, if you wipe it down good, it's not the end of the world. But again, it's just one of those things that just makes it a little better. So, thank you. Also, what's nice about, these extension poles are real nice. I really like them. One of the reasons is they have this attachment here where you can put the screw on, but it's the Sherlock, and these have a pin in them. So when you press down here, it clips in. And the benefit of that is sometimes when you're like rolling, it's like you're putting down weight and then it's trying to like screw off and screw on. This just locks into place, which is really nice. Just a little tip that we use. So, in spreading out our jobs, we're gonna have probably 3 people spread the epoxy. You know, 4 people spread, 4 people roll. No, we have how many people? You're either gonna get a chance to spread the epoxy or roll the epoxy or throw some flakes. So these are some spike shoes. If you have big feet, use these ones. Pro tip: some people, there's like those cheaper plastic ones like this, or these are like a composite material. But these are great. They're a little bit cheaper. They're a little hard to walk in my opinion. I really prefer these ones. Some guys, I was just talking to someone who says he hates these. The reason is he's using way too big of a size. So these are like mediums. When I'm wearing sneakers in the summer, I wear these ones. They fit really well. Your size, the back heel should lift up. You don't wear these like flip-flops where you like lift up and it stays on the foot. That's how you drag and leave marks. So you should be able to lift your foot up completely. When I wear my boots, I usually wear these ones. You'll notice how on my sneakers, my foot like kind of like hangs and it's not tight. That's how you fall and that's how you rough up your floor. So, spike shoes that fit, super important. Okay, who wants to mix up the product?
Yeah, I'll do
Sweet. I want everyone to take a look at this, and I hope it does this. So, when you open the new kit at 6150, this is light gray epoxy. You should see a blue color. Okay, so see how this is like a grayish blue color? Nothing's wrong with it. This is good. We sell all of our product pre-pigmented. The pigment is a little heavy, so sometimes when it sits there, the pigment sinks to the bottom. If you are ever not mixing a full kit, you always want to pre-drill a lot. Because again, if I just make a little batch and I just pour the top of it, it's not going to be as gray as the one on the bottom. So we always want to pre-mix our egg. So you'll notice he'll just take the drill, just pre-mix it real quick and just show him. For like 20 seconds. You'll notice really quickly it just comes back to its color of what it's supposed to be, right? So,
do you have to worry about speed and creating bubbles and shit in here? Because
So,
a lot of epoxies.
not as much with epoxy, with a top coat, yes. 60 to 90 seconds is all you need when you add the bead. Again, we don't want to overmix this product because we're just starting our timer. Really quickly, there's some gloves here. Everyone put on some gloves if you want. When you get epoxy on your hands, it's set.
I can tell you one thing, having a bucket that allows you to bring the other stuff in makes life a lot
Yeah,
easier. You don't have to
that's
have
all you need.
frickin' 50 buckets laying around, a mixing bucket, a
Here,
trash
I'll pour
bucket.
it, I'll pour it, but you can just hold that drill right there. So one thing you'll notice, anything that's accelerated does smell somewhat bad. So this is gonna have some of an odor to it. That's just accelerator. But as soon as it's cured in 2 hours, customer won't smell it.
Yeah, maybe I should.
So other companies might not have enough space to mix it in one. You have to actually pour.
So
Most of them, the
yeah,
ones I deal with,
they,
neither one of
they
them
sell
do.
them. They sell them all in jugs. So it just depends on the product. Like our polyaspartic, I sell it in jugs just because of the way it's made, and it's a 1-to-1 mix ratio. So we're not going to sell you 2 buckets.
How long, 90 seconds?
60 to 90 seconds is all you need.
Set timer for 60 seconds.
60 seconds, counting down.
Another thing I do, I don't know if you guys do, is I have a plastic, I have a wooden stick and I rub the edges to make sure you get all the shit off the edges and you don't have one of the 2 mixtures on the edge and the bottom.
Totally. And then you can lift it a little higher and get some of that top. There you go. Creating that vortex, not the end of the world. We'll talk about it when we get to. There we go. When we get to doing our top coat, mixing it 2 times at a time, but this is not a big deal.
Okay. Now you're at half the speed.
Oh, very nice, yeah.
This is exactly why I have towels and shit on the floor outside where you're
Yep.
at, so that if something like that happens,
Exactly. Perfect.
you're at 60 seconds.
So then I just like to kind of start at the bottom, get all the edges, and just use the drill kind of towards the edge. Just make sure I got everything mixed. And then I like to lift it up and just kind of spin it a little bit, try to spin some of that excess off. I just take it right here. Rotate it, and then I can just wipe it off. But again, I don't have a pot light. I can leave that for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this for speed, and then I'm gonna give you a quick demo. So, I am going to put a decent amount of weight on. Make sense? Yeah. I'm not worried about tiny little things, I'm just going fast. So, someone take over, we'll spread this out. And don't worry if you have a couple of dry spots. Again, the roll is what's going to get it evenly. Let's grab a couple guys with the roll.